Hello everybody, this is Rick Barber from Finest Photos. I am very excited to be here with you. The reason I'm providing you with this video is I'm giving you a private gallery showing of 3 of my specialized prints. I have many prints, many specialized prints, but I wanted to show you 3 this evening. But before we do, we have to get started with the rules. Okay, take my logo down, and just to let you know, 3 rules. No smoking. Actually, there's about 5. No smoking during the video, no eating, no drinking, no texting, especially driving, and no driving as well. Okay, so those are the rules, and let me switch over to camera 2. I'm without my aid tonight, so bear with me. Here we go. Okay, I'm gonna be right there. And it will focus in. It usually takes a minute. Here we go. Automatic focus. I love that. It is really sweet. Anyways, I'm really excited to be here. And, you know, growing up, I didn't like salesmen. And even when I became an adult and in the future of buying cars, I couldn't stand to go to a car salesman to buy a car because you always knew there was some kind of hitch. There was always that added pressure when buying a vehicle. So I'm going to tell you a short story about how I bought my vehicle. I went with a close friend of mine. We went to the auto dealer, Toyota dealer in McKinney, and when I met this gentleman, he was very personable, he was very sociable, very relaxed in his job, and I admired that, and I said, gee, he's not the typical salesman. And yes, we did go into his office, and he wanted to get to know me a little bit, especially where I'd moved from Rhode Island and coming down to Texas, so I told him a little bit about my story. And then he finally looked at me and he said, Rick, he said, I have the car for you. And I'll tell you, that's all I needed to hear. How many times have we all heard that going in to purchase a car? Oh, we have the deal for you, you know. And actually, my Toyota Prius, his wife had previously owned, and she only put like several hundred miles on the auto, and she wound up turning it back in. A, there was nothing wrong with it. B, it just wasn't a good fit for her for some reason. So after we chatted in his office, he took us out to the car, and so he looked at me and said, well, you're gonna drive, right? So I humped over into the driver's seat. Now, I never bought a Prius before, never had bought a hybrid before, so I didn't have a clue how to start the car. So he showed me how to start the car, showed me how to shift and what have you. And as soon as I started up the car, he turns to me and he says, did you hear that? And I looked at him and I said, hear what? and he said, that's precisely my point. So he was pointing out how quiet it is. And actually, one of my neighbors told me that the first time he spotted my car, he said, I didn't hear you start your car, yet I'm standing right here. And I said, well, that's because it's a hybrid. You know? So anyways, so we went for a short drive. Long story short, we went for a short drive, came back to his office, sat down with him, and you know what? I just felt so comfortable. I didn't feel any pressure from him at all, and I've never sat in one car and automatically liked it. So this was a first for me. It fit like a glove. It rode smooth. It was quiet. I thought, man, this is awesome. So I bought the car that evening. So the reason I'm telling you this story is because he was so personable with me and made such a big impression on me that I just wanted to let you folks know that when I'm sitting with my clients, I like to get to know them. I like, you know, because for me, shooting photographs with people, it's about telling this story. So tonight, this evening, I'm going to show you 3 of my specialized prints. I have to do this in 2 segments because I'm without my photography assistant. So bear with me, and I'm going to tell you about 2 of them. The first one, oh, and if I didn't mention, for all of my specialized prints, there is a certification of original photograph. So I have no copies of any of these prints. So these are specialized prints, and they're rare because nobody in the world has them. Okay, so I just want you to know how much value that I put in to my photography, and when I share it with my clients, I like them to have originals. That could change down the road, who knows? But for right now, I like to provide my clients with specialized prints. So the first print, then I'm going to uncover it, but I have to switch over to camera 2. But let me just briefly describe it. Let me go to camera 2. Okay, bear with me. Okay, there we go. I'm going to switch over, and I am going to unveil the first print, which is a specialized print. Let me focus out a little bit more. Okay, that will be enough. And this first print is called The Village Blacksmith, and it is a blacksmith in McKinney who obviously was doing some blacksmith work, and I saw him at a farmer's market in McKinney, and I was fascinated. I'd never seen a blacksmith work before. I've seen, you know, different types of products that they make, and I have no idea what kind of a piece he was working on, but it is real fascinating. And I was looking at the photo, and I'm looking at, oh, there's some red hot metal there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to zoom in rather, so that you can see the photo a little more closely. And I don't know if you can see that red hot metal. Yeah, I believe you can actually. So this print is a metal print, and it is an 18 by 21. And when I went to my framing colleague, walked into her store, and I just said to her, I said, Karen, I got this print. I said, I don't have a clue what kind of a frame to put it in. And like the car salesman, she said to me, oh, I have the perfect frame for it. But you know what? I was letting go of my old memories of old tapes in the past. Anyway, so she walked over to this frame, and I looked at it, and I said, oh my God, metal print, metal frame, and all these little hoobies around the frame are rivets. So I thought, you know, this is perfect. So if you have any kind of imagination, where could you put a print like this? Would you want to put it in your home? I could conceivably seeing it go over a fireplace, or possibly into a den. I actually knew a gentleman who I thought was interested in it a while back, and he worked in a wood shop, and he was actually he thought he might purchase it because he thought it would be an appropriate place. But then being in a wood shop, it might get dusty from, all the wood dust and that sort of thing. Anyways, this print, and my watermark is on there. This is a wonderful, wonderful print. You can dream about where you'd like to put it. I just came up with my ideas. So again, this is an 18 by 21. I call it the Village Blacksmith, and you get the certification paper with it as well. And just to let you know that this was selling for $1,200.15, and the final retail on this is $601.67. So I'll tell you, it's a steal. I mean, it's a steel print, kind of a little joke there. But anyways, so I love it. This is one of my favorites, and I almost hate to part with it, but I want, to be able to share some of my story with you, because I told you where that I shot this. Okay, let's move on to my next print. Okay, so bear with me. Okay, let me safely remove that. And then I'm going to tell you a little story about this print. This is an entirely different type of print. This is actually a print that is embossed onto, let me get it on the stand right. Oh, there we go. Okay, I didn't have it right. Okay, so this is an embossed print that is put onto a wrapped canvas. And this happens to be the Veterans Memorial Park in McKinney. And when I first came to McKinney and I was getting out and trying to get to know the neighborhood a little bit, my friend and I went down to the Veterans Memorial Park at dusk. And I'll tell you, when I looked at the wall, because they have a veterans wall there, and that's what this is, and then when I looked at the reflection of the dusk onto the wall, it was like I was in heaven. It was like, oh my God, what a beautiful, beautiful photo, and what a beautiful print that this would make, and especially onto a wrapped canvas. So again, you know, I'm thinking about, you know, you could have this for yourself if you have somebody in the family that was in the service, maybe one of your parents or your husband, or boyfriend, whatever. And you know, being at Veteran Memorial Park, for those of you that haven't been there, they have these marble columns that are set in the ground with the logos of each of the armed forces for each column. And you know, it was very touching for me. And then of course there were gentlemen's and gals' names that were in stone in the ground that represented, I guess, you know, a memory stone for them who gave their lives in previous wars. And I think this one particularly for Vietnam, I believe. But anyways, as soon as I came to the United States Navy logo, oh my God, it made me think of my Uncle Jimmy. I had an uncle who I never knew because he fought in World War II and gave his life in World War II at Guadalcanal. So, and there's a whole story around that. Maybe I'll tell you about that sometime. But anyways, this is, let me tell you the size on this. And you know, that particular, after I got the picture up on my computer, I said, I got to come up with a key name for that, something real simple. So I titled it Remembrances. You can certainly title it something else when you purchase it, but it just brought back so many memories for me, particularly thinking about my Uncle Jimmy, who is my war hero from our family. Anyways, so again, this is a 20 by 24 inch, and the original price. Okay, everybody, this is Rick Barber back with you again. Just double checking my video screen. Everything looks a-okay. Had to go through some minor adjustments. But this is called Blue Maze. This is one of my other favorite pieces. And I took this photo actually when I was driving with my very good friend when we were coming back from Austin, Texas, and this cornfield was in Waco, or is in Waco. And so when I got this print up on my computer and I saw the size, when I saw the colors in the print, which was like, and I've done very little editing to this, very little. I enhanced it just ever slightly. But when I saw the cornfield, I said, man, what a cool photo that would be. So I wasn't driving, so I used my motion feature on my camera and took this shot, and it came out like marvelous, just simply marvelous. Now the print is a 24 by 30, and it is metal, okay, and like my other print that I showed you, it too has a metal frame, which really my framer, my professional framer, does awesome work. Now I want to point out something, okay, that initially I thought I had screwed up the frame. See this little bunchy plastic material here? And so I took it back to the frame store and I said, I think I screwed up my frame. And so when I took it into the frame store, the framing professional, the manager, said to me, he said, no, he says, you didn't screw it up. He says, that's a plastic covering to prevent it from getting scratched. And I said, oh, okay, because I did a previous showing and I had a little tear. Well, he actually tore it even more to show me that it was actually a plastic covering. And I said, can that come off very easily? He says, oh yeah. Then he pulled on this little strip here. So there's nothing wrong with this. It is in perfect fine shape, and it too has a certificate as well. So those are the three pieces that that I have shown you, and I hope that you get in touch with me. And again, if you have any questions, oh, and because I live in Dallas, I'm willing to I can bring it to you. I can drive it to you. I'm mobile, so I have plenty of room in my Prius in my trunk. I can put it in my trunk, and in fact, they're going into storage temporarily. And so I'm going to be packaging them up tonight and bringing them into storage tomorrow. So it's a perfectly fine print. Think about where this would look nice. Would it look nice in your living room, perhaps? Or if you have a big den, that could happen. Or maybe you have a special informal casual sitting room in your home, or okay, because I'm a commercial event photographer, you can put any of these prints in any kind of business, you know, depending on the business and what the decor is. But again, you know, I'm a professional commercial event photographer, but I'm also a print artist. As you can see, I've got very artistic photos. There's specialized photos. Again, it's a metal print, just like my other print was, and in a specialized metal frame. So let me tell you the details on it. Again, it's a 20-inch by 24-inch, and it was selling for $605.09. And this is a final retail sale, okay? It is now $499.10. So don't try to negotiate with me over the price. This is the final retail price, okay? So somebody out there will buy it. I know they will. And I think it's a wonderful photo. I had fun shooting it. I had no idea what it was going to look like because we were driving on the road. And as you can tell, it has deep blue colors. You know, it looked like there was a storm that was brewing in the atmosphere, and it was just such a huge, you know, from one side to the other, such a huge cornfield. And I said, Blue Maze, you know, it just seemed to be the perfect title for this kind of metal print. So, and I look forward to doing more and more of them. So this is my first gallery showing online for you folks up on YouTube. So this video is going up on YouTube, so I ask you, please not only just like it, but I ask you to leave comments about it. You know, let me know if you like it. You know, even if you're not going to buy it, at least let me know that you like it. And again, as I said earlier in the video, I'm up on Facebook under Rick Barber, under Finest Photos, and also I have a Finest Photos product page as well. So you can find me up there, and you'll be able to see some of my other products. And in my Facebook albums, you'll be able to see the variety of commercial and events that I have shot over the last couple of years. So anyways, and I'm into my third year in business, and I'm very excited to be in Dallas. I used to live in McKinney. Now I'm in Dallas, and I'm looking forward to doing business in the Dallas area. I've already joined some networking groups down here. So I'm very excited, and think and dream. Where could you conceive this print could go? Whether it's in your house, again, in a den, could be in an office, some doctor's office. Some doctor might like to have this done as well. Doctor, dentist, lawyer, you name it. Accountant, for that matter. So anyways, I am Rick Barber. I'm Finest Photos. And my telephone number is 972-375. And this completes my short first gallery showing. I'm so excited to present this to you. So this will be up on my Facebook page, maybe not tonight, perhaps tomorrow, and because I'll have to work out some technical stuff on YouTube. I'm combining the two videos. Anyway, so I'm just plumb excited. My email address is clickrick523@gmail.com. And let's see, I give you my phone number. My website is FINESTFOTOS, finestphotos.com. Please like me, make comments, you know, because Facebook loves to see comments, and feel free to share. There is that link to share this video, so please feel free to do so. Again, this is Rick Barber. I gotta hop back in the camera, Finest Photos, and I hope you enjoyed your gallery showing, because I've had a ball doing it, and I look forward to doing more of them. And hope to do an actual physical one where people can come and see. That'd be even better. So that I'll be planning down the road. So I hope you enjoy it all. Again, if you have any questions, please call me, 972-375-4477. Rick Barber, Finest Photos. Thank you.